Hey guys, I'm Kirsten, 44, female. Thanks for selecting my story. I hope someone can learn something from this, and if not, just be really entertained by the crap storm that I'm going to tell you about, because I never expected something like this to happen to me. I've always kept in touch with my friends, especially my best friend Trisha. We went way back, all the way to our freshman year in college when we were 20 and 19 respectively. From the moment we met, we've been inseparable. We were thicker than thieves, like Thelma and Louise, and we always had dreams of living next door to each other and raising our kids together. Now, I know a lot of people say things like that and never follow through, but Trisha and I weren't like those people at all. Oh no, we actually made our dreams come true. We worked our tails off through college, found great partners to be with, and eventually bought houses right next to each other, just like we planned. Soon enough, we both found ourselves pregnant at around the same time. We conceived a couple of months apart. Funnily enough, that part wasn't actually part of our vision board, but hey, it made the journey even more exciting. Life seemed to be going pretty well for us. In a way, Trisha was like my twin flame, or like a long-lost sister. We did everything together, and we genuinely loved each other. Before I knew it, the years were flying by, and with each passing day, our bond only seemed to get stronger. Our kids were growing up too, and Kyla and Ricky in particular were practically inseparable, just like their mamas. I mean, who could blame them? Trisha and I were as close as sisters, so they were kind of forced into getting along. Trisha's husband and I even placed a bet on whether our kids would end up falling in love when they grew up. Trisha and I were skeptical, thinking that it was unlikely, but life has a funny way of proving you wrong. I remember that day like it was yesterday. Trisha and I were on her porch gossiping about everything under the sun, as best friends do. Ricky and Kyla strolled up the driveway, and there was something different about the way they carried themselves. It hit me when I noticed they were holding hands. Ricky was 19 and Kyla was 18, and it seemed like that was the moment they decided to officially be together. Trisha and I were caught off guard, but apparently all their friends and even their cousins had seen it coming for a long time. Hey, you two, how was your day? Wait a minute, what's going on here? Kyla and Ricky both took a deep breath, and then they spilled the beans. Mom, Aunt Trisha, Ricky and I are officially a couple. What? Seriously? Oh, that's wonderful news. You two, I knew there was something different about the way you walked up the driveway holding hands like that. Yeah, we decided to make it official. We've been keeping it under wraps for a little while now. Looks like our husbands were right, huh? It sure seems that way, but seriously, congratulations, you two. We're so happy for you. Thanks, Aunt Kirsten. It means a lot. We were a bit nervous about how you guys would react. Sweetheart, you could have told us sooner. We're thrilled for both of you. Absolutely. You don't have to worry about a thing. We're here to support you, just like we've always been. We appreciate that, Aunt Kirsten. We're really glad you guys are okay with it. And who knows, maybe our kids will grow up together just like we did. We'll have to start placing bets on when they'll become a couple. Let's not rush things right now. Let's just celebrate this beautiful moment. Sounds good to me. Thanks, Mom, Aunt Trisha, for being so awesome about it. Always, sweetheart. Love knows no schedule. We're just happy you found each other. It was like the stars had aligned, and these two were meant to be together. Trisha and I were, of course, stoked for our babies. That was until a couple of weeks went by and the kids were on a school trip, and Trisha and I were hanging out in my home as we normally did on the weekends. Everything was going well until she said, Hey, Chris, what's up? Do you ever think about our kids and whether they should actually be together? What do you mean? Oh, never mind. I didn't mean anything by it. Of course, I wasn't buying her BS, so I kept pressing. But she kept on dodging my questions, acting like everything was okay and that she didn't have any concerns, but I knew my best friend and I knew she was hiding something. She even made up some lame excuse to go back home, cutting our tea sesh in half. I didn't know why she was hiding it, but every time after that, when I asked her about it, she would brush it off and say that there wasn't anything to worry about. So I decided to let it go. As the years passed, Trisha's concerns became more apparent during family gatherings. Her discomfort whenever Kyla and Ricky were being super cute and lovey-dovey raised red flags in my mind, and I couldn't ignore the signs any longer. And it bothered me that she was hiding something. Okay, Trisha, I've let this go on long enough. Is everything okay? Yes, everything's fine. Why do you ask? Come on, Trisha. We've been friends forever. I can tell when something's bothering you. Is it about Kyla and Ricky? What? No, not at all. Why would you think that? Cut the crap, Trisha. I know you better than you know yourself. There's tension whenever Kyla and Ricky are around. What's going on? I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine. Trisha, we're way past pretending with each other. Tell me what's really going on. I can sense your discomfort. Kirsten, honestly, there's nothing wrong. I'm happy for Kyla and Ricky. Why would I have a problem with them? Don't play dumb with me, Trisha. We've been through too much together. If there's something bothering you, you can talk to me. Is it about the past? Are you struggling with something? Kirsten, really, I appreciate your concern, but I'm fine. Kyla and Ricky are great together. End of story. Okay, Trisha, if you say so, but just remember, I'm here for you. We've faced challenges together before, and we can do it again. Don't shut me out. I know, Kirsten, I appreciate your support, but seriously, there's nothing to worry about. So I left it at that. I mean, what else could I have done? I was also getting kind of sick of constantly asking. Time passed and Trisha's unhappiness just kept growing. Every family get-together turned into a struggle, with her barely hiding her annoyance whenever Kyla and Ricky showed their affection. It was like she couldn't stand the sight of their happiness. Then Thanksgiving came around, and I could say that was the beginning of the end. During Thanksgiving, with the delicious aroma of turkey filling the air, Ricky and Kyla dropped the big news. Kyla proudly displayed her engagement ring, and the room buzzed with excitement. Everyone, that is, except Trisha. I kept my eyes on her, expecting her to share in the joy, but her face said otherwise. No smile, just a scowl, as if the news were a personal attack. I tried to shake off the awkwardness, focusing on the celebration and appreciating the news. But as the night went on, Trisha's discontent lingered. She even said she had to leave early because she had work, which shocked Ricky and her husband because they thought that she was going to be free and they didn't know about any work emergencies she had. Honestly, I preferred for her to not be around because her vibe was like a cloud over the festivities, and I couldn't ignore the growing strain. Ricky and Kyla were oblivious to the tension, absorbed in their happiness. Of course, they quickly recovered when Trisha made things awkward by wanting to randomly leave. But I was feeling super uncomfortable. Why was my best friend acting like this? Once Ricky and Kyla announced their engagement, the wedding planning chaos kicked in. We dove headfirst into organizing the big day. But Trisha's participation was noticeably lacking. She made a bunch of excuses, leaving me to shoulder the majority of the responsibilities. This wasn't entirely unexpected given Trisha's recent behavior, but it did catch Ricky and Kyla off guard. They assumed that as best friends, Trisha and I would be inseparable in the wedding planning process. Instead, it felt like I was juggling the entire affair solo. Trisha's growing distance became more apparent as the months went by, and Ricky began confiding in me about her strange reactions whenever Kyla was brought up. He couldn't shake the feeling that Trisha wasn't thrilled about them getting married. Have you tried talking to her about it? Yeah, I have. She keeps saying that everything's okay when I know it's not. I don't know why she's being so strange. Despite our concerns about Trisha, we had a wedding to plan, and there was no time to dwell on her negativity. Ricky and Kyla were eager to celebrate their love, and my commitment to ensure their special day went smoothly was a bigger priority at that time. The anticipation of the wedding day was palpable, a culmination of weeks of meticulous planning. Despite the careful orchestration, Trisha, who had been mysteriously absent leading up to the big day, seemed to become an unexpected source of disruption. Each accidental spill or item dropped felt like an unwelcome addition to the already heightened chaos. While accidents are a part of any event, the timing and frequency of Trisha's mishaps couldn't be ignored. It just seemed super convenient, don't you think? As we gathered in Kyla's dressing room along with other bridesmaids to get ready for the celebration, my role as the event organizer had me constantly shuttling between the dressing room and the venue. The responsibility was both exhilarating and exhausting. During one of my rounds around the venue, I stopped at the door of Kyla's dressing room. The voices inside were hushed, and my curiosity got the better of me. Kyla was talking to Trisha, and it seemed like the other bridesmaids were out of the room as well. "What's wrong, Trisha? You've barely been around, and you've been acting, I don't know, super weird." While I eavesdropped, hoping for an honest conversation, what I heard shocked me. Trisha spilled the beans, revealing her true feelings, and they weren't pretty. She was dissatisfied with Kyla, criticizing her choices and questioning if she was good enough for Ricky. It hit me like a ton of bricks. My best friend, who'd been like family forever, was holding on to some serious negativity towards Kyla. "I never liked you, Kyla." "What?" "You weren't raised right." "Excuse me?" "You're not good enough for my son. You don't deserve him, and I hate that this is happening." "How could you say that?" "What? I had no idea you felt this way." "Oh, you must have known. I've been uncomfortable with you for a very long time." "So why didn't you say anything? Why are you saying all this crap on my wedding day? If you had an issue with me, why didn't you come to me?" "So that I should look like the bad guy? Not a chance. I'm not ruining my son's happiness because of my personal issues with you. Even though he can't see your worth right now, he will eventually." It was a sucker punch. I couldn't believe Trisha had been hiding these resentments, and her weird actions on the wedding day seemed to be a result of this deep-seated disapproval. The weight of what I heard hit me hard. Someone so close to me was hiding toxic feelings. The wedding, meant to be a happy day, suddenly felt tainted by this ugly truth. Stunned and hurt, I had a choice to make. I stormed into the room, and there was my poor daughter, mascara running down her face. Seeing Kyla in tears infuriated me, and I couldn't hold back. I let Trisha have it, demanding to know what the heck her problem was. I was boiling with anger, feeling betrayed and hurt by someone I considered family. "What the hell are you saying, Trisha? What is wrong with you? Did you hit your head or something?" Trisha looked taken aback, probably not expecting me to burst in like that. I didn't care. I needed answers. The room was tense, and everyone else in there was quiet, probably shocked by the sudden confrontation, but I didn't care about that either. All that mattered was getting to the bottom of this mess and figuring out how to salvage what was left of the wedding. "Trisha, what the hell is going on? Why is my daughter crying on her wedding day?" "Kirsten, it's nothing really, just some pre-wedding nerves." "Pre-wedding nerves, my foot. I heard you talking in there. You can't lie to me." "Kirsten, you've got it all wrong. I was just telling Kyla that weddings can be stressful, you know." "Don't you dare lie to me, Trisha. I heard you mention something about not deserving Ricky and ruining his life. What the hell is that supposed to mean? You think I didn't raise my daughter well?" No, Kirsten, you misunderstood. I was just expressing concern, motherly advice." "Motherly advice? You call making my daughter cry motherly advice?" Trisha, you're supposed to be my goddamn best friend. What kind of friend talks crap about their bestie's daughter on her wedding day? Kirsten, No more excuses, Trisha. You're supposed to be family to us. Kyla treats you like a second mom, and this is how you repay her. This is how you treat her? But, save it, Trisha. I've had enough. You're a terrible friend, and I won't stand for you ruining my daughter's special day. If you can't be happy for her, then maybe you need to leave. We were arguing a bit more, and Kyla was trying to fix her makeup. Eventually, Trisha left because she was embarrassed, and I guess she couldn't take accountability for her actions. It was pathetic to witness, honestly. Why did she do this to me, Mom? What did I do? I don't know, baby. But I do know one thing. Nothing was your fault. She's a child, and she's clearly jealous of you. I mean, think about it. Why is she telling you this now? Like you said, if she had a problem with you, she should have approached you. But I think she knows that she has a BS excuse for hating on you, because no sane person would do what she did. Kyla cried a bit more, and I assured her that everything would be okay. Then I had a brilliant idea. I just thought of something. We're going to get back at that hag, only with your permission, of course. I started telling Kyla about my plan to expose Trisha for the witch she was, and this instantly put a smile on Kyla's face. She said that it was perfect, and we had to move ASAP to give that woman a taste of her own medicine. The plan was set in motion. We proceeded with the ceremony and tried our best to act as naturally as possible. During the ceremony, I was scanning the crowd for Trisha's stupid face, and she kept on looking sheepish, like she no longer wanted to be there. Good. I'm glad she was uncomfortable, but it was about to be a lot worse for her. Kyla and Ricky exchanged vows, and everyone in the congregation began to relax a bit and enjoy the festivities a bit more. That was when I had to spring into action. I made my way to the DJ booth and told him to hand over the mic and the controls for a couple of minutes because I had a very special announcement to make. With determination in my eyes, I took control of the microphone, signaling the DJ to cut the music. A hush fell over the room as everyone turned their attention towards me. Trisha, standing in the corner, looked like she was about to piss herself. I began by thanking everyone for being part of this special day, but hinted at an unfortunate revelation. Ricky's confusion was evident as I continued, addressing the room about Trisha's recent behavior. I painted a picture of her negativity and expressed my disappointment. Recently, I came across something that broke my heart. It turns out that my best friend of 20 years has been nothing but a horrible, evil person. You see, she made my daughter cry just moments before she walked down that aisle. People started gasping and Trisha was shocked, but she was about to be completely gobsmacked with what I got on her. The atmosphere became tense as I thought I had proof of Trisha's actions. With a dramatic flair, I revealed the audio recording from my Bluetooth earpiece capturing the conversation between Trisha and Kyla. People gasped as the harsh words echoed through the venue. You see, since I was the event planner, I had an earpiece and a clipboard running around like a hooligan. I made it a habit to have my earpiece record the conversations I was having so that I would go home, listen back, and plan the wedding accordingly. I guess it became a force of habit because even on the wedding day, this setting was still on, even if I didn't need it later on because it was the actual day of the wedding. Thank God for that, because without that, I wouldn't have had that sweet audio recording. Mom, is all this true? Did you really say that to her? I can explain. How could you do that to Kyla on our wedding day? Ricky, sweetheart, I didn't mean for things to get so out of hand. I was just what, Mom? What could possibly justify making a scene like that? You embarrassed Kyla, you embarrassed me, and you embarrassed yourself. I was just worried, Ricky. I was worried about whether Kyla was the right fit for you, and I let my concerns get the best of me. Worried, Mom? We've been together for years. Kyla is my partner, the love of my life. You had no right to question that on our wedding day. I know. You can't even defend yourself. Do you really think you can just trash talk Kyla like that and then pretend everything is okay? Ricky, please understand me. I didn't mean it. Trisha's face turned multiple shades of red as the recording continued to play for everyone to hear. She looked like she wanted to disappear into the floor. Ricky's scowl deepened, clearly appalled by his mother's behavior. The guests looked shocked, and a lot of them were also scowling at Trisha. As I stopped the recording after I let it play a couple of times, the whole room was silent. You could hear a pin drop, and you could hear Trisha nervously gulp. How could you do this to me? You did this to yourself, Trisha. You're an awful person, and I'm glad that I've finally been able to see it. I'll never forgive you for this. Good, because we'll never forgive you either. Security, please escort her out of here. What? You're going to kick out your own mother? We'll talk about this later, Mom. I'm still very hurt by all of this. I think it's best if you leave. I can't believe this. You're trying to ruin my life? Well, you better believe it, Trisha. No one gets away with making my daughter cry. Now get out of here. As the commotion settled and Trisha tried to rally support from the crowd, I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. Part of me was angry, not just at Trisha, but at myself for not recognizing the signs earlier. I prided myself on being an attentive and supportive mother, and the fact that I had missed Trisha's true nature for so long made me feel crappy. Trisha attempted to explain herself, but I wasn't having it. Nope. You had so much time to talk to me about it, about everything, about whatever it is you can't seem to stand about my daughter. You don't just get to speak about it now that you're in hot shit. Get out of here. Kyla, Ricky, and I will hear you out when we are ready. She literally had months to come clean about whatever it was that was bothering her, but she chose to do it on a day that was meant to be filled with joy and happiness. So she could hold on to her excuses for a bit longer because we were determined to get rid of all the bad vibes and continue with the festivities. Finally, feeling defeated, that's when Trisha decided to not embarrass herself further and cooperate with the security guards and leave. Despite feeling stupid for not seeing through Trisha's facade earlier, there was a strange sense of relief in finally understanding her true colors. A person who deliberately tries to sabotage a wedding, especially one involving their own family, is someone with a serious lack of decency and empathy. The wedding continued once Trisha had left the party, although there was a bit of awkwardness. The happy and fun energy of Kyla and Ricky helped lift the spirits. The couple was glowing, and their genuine love for each other overshadowed the crap that Trisha had attempted to throw on this special day. Hours had gone by, we were still enjoying ourselves, and Trisha had the audacity to reach out to me through calls, but I declined each one. I sent her a firm text, making it clear that I wasn't ready to talk to her. The audacity to harm my daughter on such a significant day was unforgivable. Even Trisha's husband was visibly upset. He chose to leave the wedding early, presumably to have a serious conversation with his wife. I couldn't predict how things would go, nor did I particularly care. My focus was on supporting Kyla and Ricky, ensuring that their wedding day, despite the hiccup, remained a cherished memory for them. As the night went on, I couldn't shake the anger and disappointment in Trisha's betrayal. I promised to protect my daughter from any future harm, even if it meant cutting ties with someone I had considered a best friend for years. Trisha had chosen her path, and I had chosen mine, one that prioritized the happiness and well-being of my family over toxic relationships.